As mentioned, now we have the Pacific Test. Tonga against Samoa. Let's have a look at Samoa, who have won the last two contests between these two great countries. Matthew Wright in the fullback role, Khalifa Fuifui Law and Daniel Vito on the wings, Antonio Winterstein and Junior Sau the centres, Carlos Tuamavave and Ben Roberts the halves. Up front, Lima, Yosefa, Asatasi, Pettybourne, Tagatese and Tarsi. The bench, Armau, Tupau, Tafua and Alex Elisala. The coach is the Dragons coach, Steve Price. And Brandy, I wanted to ask you about the men in the centres. Winterstein, who has played a lot on the wing alongside Junior Sau. What do you make about that combination?
Well, they are powerful three-quarters, aren't they, for the Samoan side. Fuifui Law and also Daniel Vito on the wing. So you mix up Sau and Winterstein. Sau's in terrific form for the Melbourne Storm. Winterstein, as you said, Matty, gets a chance in the centres, but has been very powerful for the Cowboys in the opening part of the season. Looking forward to those matchups against some of the Tongans. Both sides have terrific forward packs and plenty of strike off the bench. Our ribs might even rattle in the commentary box tonight. Let's say good evening again to Andy Raymond and Mark Gasnier.
Good evening. Sam Moa warming up behind us, a high intensity warm up too, isn't it? A lot of talk, a lot of communication.
Yeah, it's, there's a lot more on the line tonight. If there's any indication of the warm up, I think it's playing for a lot of pride tonight. There's a lot of talk, a lot of enthusiasm, but let's see as the game wears on. Okay,
tournament rugby league, like World Cup's very different from one-off test matches. Take us back to when you're a player. How do you prepare? What are the keys on a short lead-in?
Yeah, look, it's all about camaraderie. I don't think you can confuse the guys and give them a game plan that's too over the top. You've got to be basic. You've got to get them together. They've got to be close and they've got to want to play for one another. Motivation is more important than specifics when it comes to game plans.
They've certainly got some experience in their footy side. I caught up with their captain, Roy Asatasi, on his way into the ground and started by asking what he considers the side's strengths to be.
I think the strength for both sides of the forward pack. Can't look past Tonga too. They've got guys like Brent, Kite in there, and Fuifui, Moimoi, Rich also all good players. So I think it comes down to a forwards challenge tonight. So that's something we'll be looking forward to also.
Good luck, big fella. I know you're going to enjoy it.
Thanks. I know I will. Cheers.
Roy Asatasi's played 24 tests for New Zealand. Tonight he's on debut for Samoa. The opposition is Tonga. Let's have a look at the Tongan lineup again. A host of familiar names for NRL fans. Glen Fisi'ahi is the fullback, Mahe, Fonua and Uaisele the wingers, Michael Oldfield and Siuatonga Likiliki in the centres, Samsoni, Langi and Daniel Foster the halves. We'll talk more about them in a moment. Up front, Brent, Kite, Silivia, Havili, Fuifui, Moimoi in jumper 18. He was meant to wear 15, to put it simply. It wasn't big enough, so he's in jumper 18. Sikamanu, Jason Taumalolo, Anthony Tupou rounding out the starting 13. You can see that it is basically 1s through 17 except for a couple of positional switches. Charles Tonga is the man in charge. If there is a question mark over the Tongan lineup, it has to be the halves, Brandy.
You would think so. Look, out of the 34 players competing tonight, 30 have got NRL experience and many of them are plenty of NRL experience. But two of those four that haven't just happen to be the halves for the Tongan side. It will be interesting to see how they get this Tongan side around the park tonight. Daniel Foster is a dummy half, really. He plays in the Panthers under-20 side. He came from New Zealand as a hooker. There was some injuries to the halves this year. He has only played 6 Holden Cup games. That's his experience. Samsoni Langi is a very talented number 6 that plays for the Roosters in their 20 side, but no NRL experience.
They should be expecting some traffic. Let's go down to Andy and Gaz again. Tell us about Tonga, gents.
Well, Tonga, I don't know if it's just my sense of humour, but how good is it that Sam Moa is playing for Tonga against Samoa? Let's talk game plans. Do you like that?
Yeah, not bad, Andy.
Do you simplify or do you play to your natural tendencies?
It's more about teaching the players a recognition of when to offload and maybe when to kick in the corners and tuck it under your arm. So we'll see what they've learnt this week after being in camp.
I caught up with their captain, Brent Kite, on his way in. Brent, with so many NRL headline players making themselves available for these two nations, talent is really at an all-time high, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, it should be a cracker of a game. There's plenty of fans here, and it's still only early. So, yeah, very exciting to have the NRL players on board.
How much is it about tonight? How much is it about looking forward to the World Cup later in the year?
I think tonight's a standalone thing. It's a test match, and we're looking to have this fixed in for the next 5 years, which is a good thing for rugby league, good thing for Tongan and Samoan rugby league. So hopefully we can give them a good show.
What do you see their strengths as?
Oh, much the same as ours. I think the Polynesians are always known for a big running game and hard hits. But I think with the quality of NRL backs out there, we should see a quality sort of game of footy with a bit of ball movement as well, hopefully.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, man. Good on you.
Brent Kite at 32 years of age. He is the oldest man on the field tonight, but his legs will be young, representing Tonga. They've met 11 times, these two countries, and on 6 occasions victory has gone to Samoa. They're shooting for 3 in a row. Will they do that, or can Tonga fight back? Stay with us. It will all unfold on Fox Sports. Welcome to a game that will be brutal and should be brilliant. Mate Ma Tonga against Toa Samoa. Great to have you with us for the Pacific Cup on Fox Sports, the Pacific Test, if you like. Matt Russell alongside Greg Alexander. Brandy, during your long and decorated career, did you enjoy having Tongans and Samoans run at you?
Not really, Matty, no. They're a little bit big for me, and they seem to have gotten bigger since I've retired, and many more of them. So it's an important game, this one. Here's how they'll line up. In the backs, right, Fuifui, Law, Winterstein, Sau, and Vito for Samoa, Tuamavavi and Roberts, the halves. The forwards, Lima, Yosefa, Asatasi, Pettyborn, Tagatese and Tasi. And the interchange bench, Armau, Tapau, Tafua and Elisala.
Giving the instructions there, the man that will lead them to the World Cup, Steve Price, who's enjoyed 3 straight wins with St George Illawarra. Tonga, Glen Fisi'ahi at the back, Mahe Fonua and Uaisele on the wings. Michael Oldfield and Siuatonga Likiliki in the centres. Samsoni Langi and Daniel Foster, the young halves. Brent Kite, the captain. Silivia Havili, the hooker. Fuifui Moimoi will start in jumper 18. Sikamanu, Jason Talmanolo and Anthony Tupou rounding out the starting 13 off the bench. Nafe Seluini, Sam Moa, who's in great form for the Roosters, Richie Fa'oso and Ben Murdoch-Masila. The coach of the Tongans, the appropriately named Charles Tonga, who last year came off the bench for them when Tonga played Hawaii, or the US in Hawaii, and won it 28-20. But these two countries haven't played since 2010, when victory went to Samoa, 22-6. In fact, the Samoans have won their last 2 encounters in 2010 and 2008, Brandy.
There's lots of players here with NRL experience. As we said, 30 of the 34 have played in the NRL, but for the first time, many of these players, even with plenty of tests either for New Zealand or Australia, like Brent Kite, are playing for the first time for their nation of their heritage. Brent Kite did play a couple of games for Tonga way back in 2000, and then went on to play 14 tests for Australia. He's turning the clock back and captaining Tonga here tonight.
Nigel Vunganah spoke about the desire to have more tests played for Tonga and Samoa, with a more professional environment for the players, greater television exposure in these countries, and he believes the might of these Pacific Island nations will grow and add to the international game of rugby league. He's working very hard, Nigel Vunganah, the NRL employee, player welfare and development, but doing great things for the international game as well. As the Tongans bow their head for a final prayer. Religion, family, a key part to both of these clubs.
Well, there's plenty to look forward to for the clash here tonight. I'm pretty excited about the back row of the Tongan side. Manu, Taumalolo and Anthony Tupou. There's some class and experience there for the Tongan forwards.
The Tongans ranked 12th in the world. Samoa 8th. This is a vital game as they head towards the World Cup. Samoa to play New Zealand in their World Cup opener, followed by Papua New Guinea and France. This country, Tonga, up against Scotland first up, then Italy and the Cook Islands. It's in the distance. Tonight it's all about beating the opposition, their Pacific rivals. There's a lot of passion. Believe me, there's a lot of pride. And this game could have anything early on. They're busy dressing rooms, Brandy.
Well, there's plenty of hugging, plenty of shaking of hands. As you said, passion and pride are the first things that come to mind when you think about these clashes between the two Pacific Island nations. As Junior Sau, who said, been in good form for the Melbourne Storm. Tonga must be close to making their way out of the dressing room. Here they come.
They were Pacific Cup champions in 1994 and 2006. Samoa, on screen now, won it as Western Samoa in 1990 and 92. They called Toa Samoa, the Toa referring to warrior, or in some definitions, brave and courageous.
Okay, here we go, guys.
And the men in red, Mate Ma Tonga, it stands for I would die for Tonga.
Here we go, guys. You're going out now.
They will enter side by side and get set for the on-field festivities.
Crowds built up late here at Centrebet Stadium. Saw a terrific under-20s game. New South Wales getting over the top of Queensland with a dominant second half.
You might have just seen Junior Sau getting himself ready to go. This is anything but just a game to fill up the rep round. I was at Samoa training yesterday and you should have seen them. It is their version of Origin. As we go on to our on-field MC, Scott McRae.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthems of Tonga and Samoa? The Tongan anthem will be performed by the Penrith Youth Uniting Church Choir, and the Samoan anthem will be performed by the Penrith Congregational Christian Church Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, two absolutely beautiful renditions there. Make some noise for the Penelli Youth Uniting Church Choir and the Penrith Congregational Christian Church Choir. We'll see some more passion right now, folks. Are you ready for the Huckers? Here we go!
I hope that puts you in the mood. Uaisele leading the Tongan war dance, the Sipito, and Roy Asatasi leading the Samoan equivalent, the Siuatonga. Not much difference in terms of name and equal ferocity.
Oh, that is great theatre. That was fantastic to watch. If it's got you ready at home, can you imagine how ready these blokes are out in the field?
Fisi'ahi, the young Warriors fullback, in full cry for Tonga, and here are the Samoans.
Let's test this gear, boys.
The man who now has to keep them under control, Matt Chikin, is out there on his own tonight. No video referee. He might feel like he's on a life raft in the middle of the Pacific. A little bit lonely. Sadi Yosefa ready to go for Samoa, as is Brent Kite leading Tonga. Ready yourself for the opening exchanges in this one.
Ready? Dutchie, you got me?
A healthy crowd. The Pacific Test is underway. They will rip in from the first encounter. And it's Jeff Lima with the first carry for Samoa.
Move! Come back!
Into Kite Sikamanu. Now Roy Asatasi. As mentioned, 24 tests for New Zealand. Tonight is his first for Samoa. Yosefa seems played the same way. Lama Tassi.
Hands off!
Lima again. His second carry in the opening set. He takes play within 10 of halfway. Now Pettybourne. Shrugging his way past one defender. They come to the last. It's Toa Samoa completing the first set for Samoa. A kick straight to Glen Fisi'ahi. Greeted by the kicker, along with Antonio Winterstein.
We spoke before the game about there's been a mistake early. Fonua dropping the football. The Samoans pat each other on the back. Good pressure from the markers to get out in his face there. Mahe Fonua just taking his eyes off the ball. The pass just behind slightly. He didn't slow himself down to make sure he got a good hold of it. Just watching the Tongan side line up in defence too, and you've got Daniel Foster out in the right. We spoke about the young halves. Daniel Foster out in the right. Samsoni Langi out in the left-hand side. So we'll see which way Samoa like to go and target the smaller men and the inexperienced ones.
Their first tests, and they are yet to play at NRL level. What an assignment for them tonight. As Samoa find themselves in a handy position. Junior Sau wrapped up by Moimoi. Foster was down low for Tonga along with Anthony Tupou. Lima. The two South Sydney men up front for Samoa, Lima and Roy Asatasi. The ball was dropped by Matthew Wright, and Tonga come away over their 20. They survived the first onslaught.
A great opportunity there for Samoa. Poor pass. And Ben Roberts dropped behind Matthew Wright. Made it hard for him to take a couple of early mistakes from both sides.
Silivia Havili from acting half. Goes to Tupou, who's put on his back. Charles Tonga electing to start with Havili as a good run here. Puts Tonga on the front foot. And bring Nafe Selueni off the bench. Now Moimoi. Bringing a big cheer from the Tongan crowd.
Hold.
Havili. Foster, who has his first run, dummies and takes a shot from the two front rowers at Samoa. Asatasi and Lima. Havili runs and kicks. It's off Samoa. Picked up by Foster. Now Langi straight and hard into the end goal. Samsoni Langi gives Tonga first points in the Pacific Showdown.
Well, the fifth tackle was still indicated. They might have been looking for a 6 to go call, but it was The kick into the legs of Roberts to ricochet. Check and called 5th tackle, and Langi just off the right foot beats 3 defenders and has the strength to get across the try line. Foster passes the ball out. Big right foot step twice for Langi. The Roosters under 20s 5'8". Made a move from the Bulldogs last year mid-season when Sam Perrott made his way to the Bulldogs. Well, Langi went from the Dogs across to the Roosters. He played a couple of trials in the first grade team this year for the Roosters. They see him as not only a 5'8", but also a back rower, and he showed plenty of power in that run, that sidestepping run for the opening try.
He's been on Peter O'Sullivan's radar for a while, and he just showed us why. What a confidence-boosting start for the young Tongan halves. A run from Daniel Foster and then the try from Samsoni Langi, who's going to try and convert his opening 4-pointer. Leading the Holden Cup in try assists, but doing it himself early in this test. Langi converts 6-0 to Tonga. They led by the same margin when they met in 2010, only to be run down. Can they hang on tonight, Mark Gasnier?
Well, you'd want to hope so, but I tell you what, the start of this game has been absolutely amazing. Those Harkers, I was intimidated. I'm bloody 20 metres away. Look, great start from Tonga. They look the more enthusiastic of the two. A world of good for the young Langi. That's going to be amazing for his confidence.
Let's have a look at their set now after points. Always described as so important. Moimoi, a good man to take the first hit up. They love him at Parramatta. Well, there's some love for him here at Penrith as well tonight. Fuifui Moimoi.
Clear him now!
As Kite takes Tonga to the 30-metre line. His 200th game for Manly last weekend, and a penalty to Tonga now.
Pettyborn, the man penalised there. Yeah, Tupou just a little high. Matt Checken. We heard him at the start of the game on his own tonight. Of course, one referee say a couple of times Dutchy. Now, he was talking to his sideline officials. And the touch judges, they've got a pretty important job here tonight. They need to have their eyes in the back of their head with one referee. Tonga just get away with that one, just finding touch.
They needed to have keen eyes right there because Tonga went perilously close not to finding touch. Chasing consecutive tries to open this test. 13 metres out. Moimoi again. Runs into a shot from Asatasi. Tupou had to check his run, didn't quite time it as he would have liked. And as a result, he's easy pickings for the blue defensive line. Havili out the back, Foster. Nice hands to Manu. Sikamanu. Penrith leading try scorer this season with 4. He's on his home track. He'd love another tonight. Foster. Here's a chance for Siuatonga. Likiliki trying to get to ground. Held up.
He was hit hard there by Junior Sau. Likiliki looked like he might have been able to get on the outside of Sau then, but terrific contact, and then got support from his fellow Samoans to hold Likiliki up.
He was a star of the Warriors under-20s program, Siuatonga Likiliki. Went to Newcastle. He's only played the 3 NRL games. He's out to impress this evening. Lima, shaped to pass, but took a tackle from Tupou and Kite. Now it's Asatasi. When you think of Asatasi and Jeff Lima and even Eddie Pettyborn, who used to be a Rabbitoh, I wonder who Bunnies fans are supporting tonight. Maybe the answer is in those names I just gave you as Fisi'ahi slips and his easy pickings for Carlos Tulamavave and Yosefa. Crawling forward. Michael Oldfield. Fonua plays it. And Moimoi crosses halfway with some room, and he loses his legs from under him. The shot from Yosefa and then Tagatese. Foster goes long. And Uaisele, the former Penrith Panther, he'll know this ground as well. Foster high towards Matthew Wright, who doesn't get a hand to it.
Knock on.
Or does he?
Well, if he got a hand to it, they're off. Jeff Lima's offside. But it'll be a Tongan ball anyway. He looked like he completely mistimed that, Matthew Wright. There's the kick from Foster. Well, he didn't really want it, Matthew Wright. He didn't want to know much about that one. He pulled out of the contest.
It looked to come off his hip and hit the hand of Anthony Tupou. But the scrum feed is going to be with Tonga. He did muck it up hopelessly, Matthew Wright, but they've copped some bad luck on top of that.
He didn't look like his hand touched it.
Havili from the back of the scrum to Taumalolo, the North Queensland Cowboy. Now Kite. Taumalolo at 19, the youngest man on the field, and Kite to play it, the oldest at 32. Very close to the line, Moimoi.
Well, he did well just to take that one. Fuifui under plenty of pressure.
Havili to Tupou, now Foster, here's a chance. Likiliki scores this time, and Tonga go back to back.
Well, they've just had too much possession for Samoa to handle. They've had them on the back foot. They've been able to roll over the top of them. They might have been a bit fortunate. Foster did a great job to time that pass to Likiliki. Could have easily mucked it up there, out the back to Foster. Nice little quick pass there to beat Daniel Vito, who'd given up on the tackle but tried to knock the football down as the bench go up. And try number 2. They've had plenty of football but made the most of it.
I mentioned his National Youth Competition record, 50 games, he scored 28 tries. So damaging for the Warriors. But it was easy there, just catch and run. Over he went. Tonga 10, Samoa 0. And Samsoni Langi trying to make it 2 from 2 with the boot.
Just the speed that Tonga are playing the ball. Fuifui has been damaging already. 5 runs, been the busiest of the Tongan players, and there's been a handful.
Langi trying to push Tonga out by 2 converted tries. From near the western sideline, he starts it to the right, and that's where it finishes. 10-0, Tonga, Mark Gasnier, they have a spring in their step.
Yeah, do they what? And judging from the start of the match, I think Charles Tonga has done a great job here. He's obviously identified the left edge of Samoa. Sao in particular is indecisive, and they've got some deft little plays going down that edge. I have to make special mention, Anthony Tupou, great start to the match.
Time your run!
He's found some pretty good form for Cronulla, Anthony Tupou. Carrying it into his country tonight as Kite comes back. The eligibility tonight, as we look at the possession, basically 70%. With the men who have the ball at the moment, Fuifui with a carry. You can be born in Tonga or Samoa, of course, or have heritage back to your grandparents, and you're eligible to represent the country. Taumalolo over halfway.
Gee, they've got some strike on the edge, haven't they? Left-hand side of Taumalolo. Right out here, Sikamanu. Nicely weighted little kick. Just chipped it into some space there.
So Khalifa Faifalaw. Finally, Samoa see some football. Just 30% of it so far as we bear down on 14 minutes.
Well, really only had the ball at the other end of the field once, and they put it down this time. This will help them get it up there. That check and blows the whistle for the Tongans to have been offside. I think Roberts will be able to put this one just over the other side of halfway.
Easy. Opens this set.
Gee, that's a good front-on tackle there by the halfback, Daniel Foster.
Outstanding. He no doubt expected that coming into this game. Tagatese didn't even look like stepping. Taking him on. As Sao has another Tongan defender race up in the form of Uaisele. Now Lima. Roberts. Tuamavave jumped inside Taumalolo. He comes to Matthew Wright and there's no room for the Samoan fullback.
Mahe Fonua lucky that he ducked there too.
Roberts kicking across field looking for Daniel Vito instead. Uaisele has it and he'll motor back to the 20-metre line.
Uaisele, of course, led the war cry for the Tongans. Did play with Penrith. He's at the Wyong club these days.
The Wyong Roos, where he scored 2 tries in 5 games so far. Good run from Tonga again, over halfway.
That was Langi. Some great footwork there.
Foster long. Manu had to reach to get it. We wondered whether the Tongan halves might be tentative. They have been anything but. Arguably the best players on the field at the moment, along with this man, Moimoi. The last as Havili comes to Foster. He kicks into the in-goal, well weighted as well. Vito has to play and carries it dead.
You're right. The question mark over the Tongan side was the inexperience of their halves. I think those that have watched the Roosters play this year, in particular the 20s with Langi being a dominant player in the Holden Cup so far in the opening 6 rounds. But Daniel Foster's an interesting one. Came to Penrith as a dummy half, as a hooker. Got thrown into the halves when there were some injuries and really has impressed.
Matthew Wright from under the crossbar sends it 49 metres. Moimoi takes Tonga back to the 30. It's his 8th hit up, Moimoi already.
That was forward. He looked it from here and the touch judge has called it from the other side. Far side touch judge picked that one up. Wasn't hard to. Brent Kite just over timing his run really. A couple of steps early. Havili should have hung on to it.
Steve Matai watching his Samoan team play. He was at training yesterday. Even Tim Cahill, a proud Samoan, giving his rugby league brothers a message this week, wishing them all the best. It really brings the community together, a test like this. Samoans and Tongans alike. Fuifui couldn't get away from Sam Moa, who's on for Tonga now. Tagatese back at the angle. Can go no further than halfway. Yosefa to Roberts. Junior Sao. Greeted up high by Likiliki, assisted by Sikamanu. 2 plays left for Samoa. Marty Tapau. The Canterbury Bulldog. The last, Roberts runs and sits it up. And the fullback, Matthew Wright, was rocked by Likiliki and throws the ball away.
Well, a couple of big shots there from Likiliki. First on Junior Sao, and it's a good battle on this side of the field between those 2 number 4s. But then Matthew Wright looking to inject himself off a short pass from Roberts. Just rocked by Likiliki.
There's a good crowd watching this match here tonight. They're also watching in Nuku'alofa, the capital of Tonga. Good evening to you. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. Brought to you by Fox Sports, as they are in Apia, the Samoan capital. In fact, this game going across the Pacific. Fiji, the Solomon Islands. Good evening to you all. Foster high. Matthew Wright can bide his time, knock it backwards into the in-goal. Now he has some work to do as the red jumpers converge and trap him inside his 10-metre zone.
Well, another good play there by Daniel Foster under pressure. Still got a reasonable kick away.
Here's a chance. Vito away. One to beat Fisi'ahi, but he's pulled down from behind by Uaisele. Fuifui Law spots an opportunity. He goes. And Samoa are on the front foot. To power. Tackled by Foster and Havili. Roberts, Tuamavavo. This is Pettyborn. The last for Samoa. Yosefa kicks back towards the posts. And Sikamanu elects to play at the ball. Now he has to get back into the field of play and does just.
Well, that was their best set, and it was the two wingers, Daniel Vito and then Fuifui Law, combining to give the Samoans some good field position. The kick from Yosefa wasn't a bad one. I don't think his teammates really knew much about it, though. Could have really put some pressure on and held Manu in goal if they had been aware.
I was surprised Sikamanu played at it. I thought it had the weight to go dead relatively easily.
I think the lack of chase meant that he was pretty confident of getting out anyway, just in case.
And he did. The last now for Tonga. Langi kicks high towards the eastern wing, and Fuifui Law returns straight into Taumalolo. Two North Queensland club mates head-to-head, and no love lost, quite clearly.
Gee, Neil Henry would like to see some of that passion for the Cowboys, wouldn't he? Taumalolo.
Come back! Wait!
Khalifa must have stolen his lunch at Cowboys training last week. Yosefa comes to Tapau. Threw it away. Taumalolo picks it up, gives it to Langi, who left it behind, and now Eddie Pettyborn can return for Samoa. A close call again for the men in blue. As they cross halfway. It's played by Winterstein, now it's Matthew Wright.
Clear him now! Hold!
Tarsi to play it. 15 metres out. Samoa through Ben Roberts. Giving it to Tuamavave. Long to Junior Sau. Uaisele was up quickly. Vito has the ball. And he's tackled by Moa. Sau out of acting half. He'll go himself. Pushed backwards by Likiliki and Manu. Roberts kicks and chases. That was off Manu. Back to Roberts. Still on the ground. A chance here for Junior Sau. But it's been knocked on. Matt Chikin straight away ruling a Samoa knock on.
I don't know about this one. I didn't think I saw a knock on. Ben Roberts. Oh, yep. There we go. Got a little touch to it. And that was enough. Good call, Matt checking.
A good spot. Just repeating the solo referee tonight. No video referees either. And no golden point.
Etu Uaisele, he mightn't have been He mightn't have been the quickest winger in the NRL, but gee, he could come up with some good defensive decisions, and we've already seen that tonight. He can come off his wing and shut things down.
Good decisions and good desperation to get Daniel Vito from behind. These two countries played a draw in 1998. Still a long way to go in this one, of course. They've met 11 times. Samoa winning 6, Tonga 4, the one draw. Moa. Uaisele. He'll enjoy the stage tonight. Fioso. Then Murdoch-Masila, the fresh man on, plays it. Havili runs and kicks towards Vito, who catches above his head. And almost breaks the defence again, pulled down from behind.
Was trying to get a penalty there, Ben Roberts, to no avail. Marty Tapau by a Tongan brick wall.
Wait.
Sam Moa penalised, but hasn't he been sensational for the Roosters this season? Averaging 107 metres per game, 27 tackles per game after 4 years with Hull, where he and his Tongan club mates were called the Tongan Mafia. He comes back to the NRL and does very, very well. Lima.
Alex Elisala on for Masada Youssef out of dummy half there, the 17 from the Cowboys club.
Pettibone gives it flat. Stein puts it down, another Cowboy. Gets the penalty for an illegal strip.
Late call there from the touch judge. They played on Samoa, Lima.
Tackled by Havili and Tupou. Elisala from acting half comes to Roberts. Now Tuamavave. Long to Daniel Vito! What a ball! Carlos Tuamavave! Great finish from Daniel Vito, but the inside service was sublime.
It was Tuamavave. Only played 5 first-grade games. And we see Winterstein dropping the ball. The penalty was given for a strip, and then Tuamavave sums things up nicely there. Uaisele caught in field. Quick service from Roberts. Vito's moved to 10-4.
His love for Samoa is so strong that he has the Samoan emblem tattooed to his calf. Just part of the ink work on Daniel Vito. And you saw him punch the heart, the emblem, as soon as he put the ball down. Ben Roberts kicking tonight for Samoa. Not a great percentage, 53% during his career. And he drags this one across the face to keep it at 10-4. Steve Matai likes it. Samoans and Tongans have trained this week with a host of rugby league players from back home in their setup. Samoa has a 6-team local league.
Time you run!
Has built up considerably too, hasn't it, with Nigel Vunganart in charge over the last few years. He's done a great job for the Samoans.
And the Nigel Vunganart Cup at schoolboy level in Samoa, also booming. They just need some more television coverage of the NRL, I reckon, in Samoa. Have the game really explode. Let's hope that the powers at Blue can work that out. Lima plays it. Junior Sal. Roberts kicks, keeping it low towards the sideline, but it's covered by Glen Fisi'ahi.
It's a good move for Fisi'ahi. He's well handled there. Good chase from the Samoan team. And they'll need that all night. So light on his feet.
They call him the flying fish, Glen Fisi'ahi. And you're right, when he sees daylight, there are not too many who can run him down.
Well, Mark Tafua's on the field. The Samoan penalised there. It's a dodgy looking kick.
Vito knocks it forward. And this will be play on. Likiliki it is. Mahe Siluini on in number 9 now for Tonga. Moa takes Tonga to within 24 of the Samoan goal line. Fioso stands in the tackle. Siluini shooting out of acting half. It's his strength. He's running out of acting half. Like a bolt of lightning. Fioso, head down. And he's pushed back. The tackle from Elisala. Lima. Langi gives it. Fisi'ahi. And still the defence holds into the in goal, but held up.
Held up on tackle 5.
Oh, good strength there. It was Michael Oldfield. Just powered himself into the in goal. Mahe Fonua. Last tackle.
Langi has it. This time he goes along the ground into Samoa. Still knocked backwards. Still the last. According to Matt Chikin, Likiliki can't get away from Roberts or Junior Sal, but gets the pass to Uaisele, who bats it on to Taumalolo. This is his range to do some damage. Kicking's not his specialty, and Junior Sal comes away with it.
Well, some desperate stuff there from Tonga, wasn't there, to keep the ball alive. Taumalolo ending up with it. Just fortunate enough to get his foot to it.
Good metres out of acting half. And now Matthew Wright goes up the middle as well, and he's collared by Richie Fioso. The crowd didn't like it. It was spectacular, but not illegal. Fisi'ahi beats the first chaser, beats 2 more. Here's Glen Fisi'ahi. The crowd standing, willing him on. And he takes the tackle from his opposite, Matthew Wright.
Well, that's how dangerous he can be in a staggered chase. When Tonga get the penalty, it was the kick from Winterstein. A snap decision by the centre to put one over the top. Almost ended up with a Tongan try. Matthew Wright penalised for not being square. I want to argue the case. Here's Fisi'ahi. Beats Winterstein. If he had a look to his left here, tried to take Wright back on the inside with the footwork. I guess you can't blame him. There's a couple of Tongans out on his left unmarked.
Siluini goes to Taumalolo. He's stopped by Pettybourne and Winterstein. And Moa thought about passing and elected not to. He takes the tackle from Tupau and Lima. Foster, his first error of the evening. A knock-on ruled by Matt Chikin.
He's been good, the 7. He's been good, 6 Holden Cup games. He might have been a little bit unlucky there over the back of his shoulder. We'll give the Samoans a chance to work it out of their own end.
And he's 20 today, Daniel Foster. What a present for that milestone, having the likes of Pettybourne, Lima, Asatasi and co set sights on you as a possible defensive weakness. Well, he's taken all comers so far. Happy birthday, Daniel Foster. Here's Pettybourne. Put on his back by Siuatonga, Moa, and Fioso also involved. A mistake from Lena, and Tupou retrieves just his shot of halfway. The offload to Moa. Still going, Sam Moa. Fioso up the middle. Siuatonga to Tamalolo. The big bodies just keep coming. Langi. With the knee strapped, he appeared to run with some sort of hindrance there. We'll keep an eye on Samsoni Langi. Foster. Out the back. He finds Fisi'ahi, who puts it down. And Siuatonga Likiliki will be called back.
It's disappointing for Tonga last couple of times now. They've put the ball down. Just haven't been able to, haven't given themselves the opportunity to build any pressure with the couple of errors that they've made. Time from Fisi'ahi.
The error count pretty close. There are the completions.
In there, boys. On the line. On the line, thanks, fellas.
We're getting plenty of what we thought we would, and that's straight, hard running.
Watch your hand on the ball when you're making that.
The Tamalolo, Fioso in that set, really putting a dent in the Samoan defensive line. Satasi, the skipper, ready to come back on. And Lima's done a power of work. 10 runs, 15 tackles for the Samoans.
Let's see what it's like on the sideline. Mark Gasnier.
Yeah, fatigue really starting to creep in here, Matty, as we see things get a little bit scrappy. The halves, I think they got the wrong idea. They keep trying to play long to the wingers. They've got to kick in behind. Both teams looking to play up and in defence.
Well, here's a chance for Tonga, who've come up with possession in a great position again. Michael Oldfield tossed to ground for Tonga. Tamalolo straightening after taking the ball at the angle. Within 5 metres, the Tongans. Moa. Sam Moa, and it's a quirk that has been noticed, playing for Tonga tonight against Samoa. Siuatonga through Langi, a little juggle there from Fonua, back to Langi. Still running Sam Langi. Eventually stopped by Fuifui and Asatasi. Foster, short and flat. He goes to Ben Murdoch-Masila. This is the last. Can Samoa's defence hold? It's with Foster. Nice move to Likiliki. Out to Uaisele. He has to come back in field, kicks and chases Uaisele. Just a fraction too heavy.
Well, did well there, Samoa, to hang on. They threw plenty at them. Not easy when you're thrown together a week before to try and come up with some plays, especially in that 20-metre area. They relied on some hard running there. They had a set play to finish their set, just couldn't break the Samoan defence.
Both these countries have loved the week. Plenty of singing and clapping and eating. Good times. They've really enjoyed it. And good luck to them. As the Samoans get a penalty late in this first half. A great opportunity to level us up at the break, perhaps. 2 minutes to play. 10-4 to Tonga. Elisala for Asatasi. They come the same way. It's with Roberts. Lisanar now has it and plays it 10 metres out. This is Wright, still going. Matthew Wright! Pushed back a metre or two short. Sau, no room for him. They were on him very quickly, too quickly.
Well, still a minute and a half, still plenty of time to get through and go through 6 tackles to see if they can force themselves across the line.
Oh, now. Elisala to Roberts, who almost put it down. He collected it around his shins. And Samoa stay on the attack. Elisala to Asatasi. He bounced back off Taumalolo and takes a tackle from Moa and Siuatonga. Elisala. Now Tuamavave, quick hands, Matthew Wright. It was smart work. Winterstein tackled well by Oldfield. Now Manu. Now it's Pettyborn. Elisala deep to Tuamavave. He rolls it along the ground. And Fisi'ahi has to play. They won't have time for the restart. And Tonga will hold on to a half-time lead.
There's some great defence on the edge from the Tongans there, both sides of the field. As we look at the kick from Tuamavave, Fisi'ahi knew just to play it safe. Ben Roberts chasing through on the kick.
The Penrith air raid siren sounds to signal the end of the first 40. As we expected, it's been physical, it's been exciting, and it is Tonga with a 6-point lead at the break. 10-4 against Samoa. We will break on Fox Sports and come back to show you the first half try. Stay with us. Pacific Pride is on the line. There was plenty of ferocity even before kickoff with their traditional war dances, and it is Tonga leading at half-time 10-4. Samoa have won the last 2 tests between these island nations. Tonga last victorious in 2006. It's been a long time between drinks for the men in red, but a highly entertaining first 40. Did you like that, Brandy?
I did. We're getting plenty of what we thought we would, and that's hard running, isn't it? Gee, there's some big boys out there, and they're bending the defensive line. Tonga had plenty of football early in the match, and they really took advantage of it with those 2 opening tries.
Let's have a look at the way the game started. It was Tonga going crash bang. Firstly, Sam Langi, the young 5'8", there was that pass from Daniel Foster, and then Langi he was intent on scoring.
Oh, it was some great footwork there from Langi, wasn't it? He had to beat a couple of players on his way to the try line. We've heard plenty of good things about him in his time at the Roosters in their under-20s, but no first-grade experience, no NRL experience. And then an out-the-back play, Daniel Foster, nice pass there, nicely timed pass with Daniel Vito deciding to make a play at the ball. He had to get it to Likiliki pretty quickly, and Likiliki goes over for the second Tongan try.
We'd talked before the game about Daniel Foster, about Sam Langi, about their relative inexperience. They have welcomed the challenge tonight rather than be overawed by it.
Oh, that's right. Look, I think we were confident that Langi would step up, but Daniel Foster is someone that's only played 6 Holden Cup games, so I guess he was a little unknown. A lot of praise from Ivan Cleary when I spoke to Ivan this week about Daniel Foster, but defensively and with his kicking game, he's been up to the mark, there's no doubt about it.
There was some joy for Samoa later in the half after conceding the first 2 tries. They scored one of their own through Daniel Vito, but look at this service from Carlos Tuamavave. 2 of the youngsters in the NRL combining brilliantly. Yeah,
he summed things up beautifully, Tuamavave. Saw Uaisele just unsure what to do, whether to stay up and his man Vito or come in. He was caught in no man's land, and Daniel Vito, who before he scored that try had gone on a couple of really damaging runs for Samoa and got them into some good field position.
He loves playing for Samoa as Steve Price lays down the instructions. The Dragons coach, the man that will lead Samoa to the World Cup at the end of the year. One man they'll have to stop in the second half if they want to stage a comeback is Fuifui Moimoi, who has dragged the biggest cheers out of this crowd this evening. He has wound the clock back. He's in his 10th year with Parramatta, but he's run for 98 metres in the first half. Many of those metres in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was unbelievable and really got the Samoans on the back foot. And that, a big reason why Samoa found themselves 10-0 down was the charges from Fuifui, playing his first game for Tonga, which is remarkable, isn't it? Such a proud Tongan, but has played 12 tests for the Kiwis and plays first test for Tonga tonight.
The aim of the people in charge of these two teams tonight is to make it more and more appealing for these players to choose their birth nation or the nation where their parents are born as their international countries for whom to represent, and it's a big push. Fuifui and others delighted to be representing either Tonga or Samoa tonight. Last time they met in 2010, it was that long ago, believe it or not, it was Tonga leading, Samoa ran them down. What's going to happen in the second half here, Brandy?
Well, we'll wait and see. I can tell you, I know exactly what's going to happen. We'll get more hard running. That's what we'll get. We'll get blokes pushing off the back fence and trying to put dents in the defensive line. We'll see who can finesse their way through the line and play nice and direct. You'd like to see the halves instead of throwing the long ball. I know Samoa had some success with the cutout pass, but if Ben Roberts can attack around the rucks along with his dummy half, well, we could see Samoa get their way back in the game, but they need to be first to score.
A picture of composure in the Samoan dressing room. We just saw Charles Tonga and Christian Wolf, the assistant at Brisbane, laying down the law in the Tongan shed. And there's John Hopewati looking on as well. So plenty of familiar faces involved tonight. We will break and come back with what should be an intriguing second half. The Pacific Test is being led by Tonga 10-4 at half-time. 2 tries to 1. The tries from Sam Langi and that man Siuatonga Likiliki. Didn't they love it at Penrith before the answer from Samoa. The final try, the first half, Daniel Vito crossing. It's been a good atmosphere at Penrith. I've loved watching Tonga and Samoa, and you will love the NRL app on Fox Sports. 5 live games every round, all the latest NRL news, live and on-demand shows. Watching the game simply will never be the same again. The Fox Sports NRL app, more than just the game. Head to the Apple Store and do the rest. Brandy loves it. We can't get him off it. Let's go to Andy Raymond, who is also a big fan, standing with a proud Samoan.
You bet. This crowd is absolutely off the charts down here. It's a party crew, Stevie Matai.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you get the Tongans and Samoans together, it's going to be a loud crowd.
Great start for Tonga, bad start for Samoa, but your mob fought their way back into the game.
Yeah, that's right. You know, towards the end there, we started to hold the ball a bit and getting through our sets towards the end. So Pricey really spoke about us completing our sets this half and just being a bit patient.
Okay, do you play disciplined NRL style footy, or do you play South Pacific footy and let it go and have a bit of fun?
I think we just get through our sets. Pricey spoke about that, and just holding the ball and our tackle control as well has been a bit down. The Tongans are getting out of their half pretty easily, so if we work on those 2 areas, we'll be right, I guess, at the end.
How's the finger, mate? Any chance you're back for the next round with the Eagles?
Yeah, the finger's going all right. Just 50-50 at this stage.
Go and enjoy the rest of the game.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you, Andy. Great to hear from Steve Matai as well. Set for the second half here at Penrith. Tonga over Samoa, 10-4. Minutes to go in the Pacific Test. And the man of the first half, Moimoi, with the first carry in the second. His numbers were outstanding. Nearly 100 running metres.
As was this man's. Jason Taumalolo. Plenty of good things. That's his 10th run of the game. He was as effective as Fuifui.
And then you got Sam Moa, who will play the ball on the 30-metre line. Ben Murdoch-Masila, as if the first 4 bodies weren't big enough. Ben arrives on the scene. 2 plays left. And it's Foster kicking. Turn from Matthew Wright straight into Tupou and Siuatonga.
Be a pretty good thing for a dummy half, wouldn't it? You'd never turn around wondering who's going to hit the ball up. You got plenty of hands going up for a charge.
Oh, boys, wait for it. Good work.
And Marty Tupou, right on halfway. Elisala, part of his big North Queensland contingent in action here this evening. Matthew Wright
Fifth and last. Come back,
Takes the tackle from Murdoch-Masila and Siuatonga. This is the last for Samoa. It comes to Tuamavave. He goes high towards Oldfield. Tongans didn't want much to do with it. Now Mahe Fonua wants a lot to do with it. He's away with support. That ball was questionable. Siuatonga is rounded up and tackled now. Daniel Vito. Fisi'ahi out of acting half. Still big numbers here for Tonga on the right. Here's Likiliki. Siuatonga gets a double and Tonga extend their lead.
Well, what about that? Tongans first on the board again, as they were in the opening 40 minutes. Likiliki scoring his second try of the game. But what a play it was from Mahe Fonua. He just pulled it out of Pettiborn's hands. Fonua then threw the pass to Siuatonga. I'm with you there. The officials weren't up to speed, and that was a forward pass from Fonua to Siuatonga, but they play on off the back of it. Terrific ball there from Daniel Foster, and Likiliki crosses for his second. Great play from the Melbourne Storm winger. After the kick was bouncing around, Mahe Fonua was able to pull it out of the hands of Ed Pettiborn and charge upfield.
He's playing his 4th test for Tonga. Siuatonga Likiliki. Until now, he had no international tries. He's the proud owner of a double tonight, and he played his first test for Tonga back in 2009.
Real heads-up play there by Daniel Foster too. The option was to go through the hand. Sometimes you can throw a long ball when it's not on, but that time it was on, and that put Likiliki. He had no one in front of him. The defence was all jammed in after that quick play the ball.
Samsoni Langi successful with one of his 2 conversion attempts so far this evening. The Sydney Rooster trying to slot another 2 points for Tonga. This to make the difference. 2 converted tries.
No.
Holds its line, shaves an upright and goes away. Mark Gasnier, 10 points the difference.
Yeah, exactly right. It seems tough to come back from the way Samoa are playing. Look, as you guys touched on, great lead-up work from Daniel Foster. He's really shown maturity beyond his years tonight. Quick half-time summary, news out of the dressing room. Charles Tonga, the coach, he was pretty happy overall. He thought their execution let them down towards the back end of the game, so he'd be happy with that. From Samoa, Steve Price, look, on the other hand, he wasn't happy. He thought their possession, their ball handling has been poor. He thought they've got away from the game plan, and he'd like him to see a pick-up in intensity.
Moimoi can come back from the kick-off again. Siuatonga sends it to Moa. He's appropriately named, really. He's built close to the ground and leaves a trail of destruction behind him, like most mowers. Taumalolo.
I wonder where you're going there.
Siuatonga up the middle. Stealing good metres, but losing the ball.
Well, Michael Oldfield just over the top there. One of those 50-50s. Did he? Was the tackle already completed? The second effort from Oldfield. Winterstein. He bounces up Siuatonga. He's a handful with the ball, and there's the flop from Winterstein, which dislodged it.
Okay, seconds lock, hop in.
Carlos Tuamavave to feed the scrum. Belisalo through Ben Roberts. And now it's Junior Sal.
Come back, come back.
Marty Tapau.
Hands away! Clear him!
Leeson Armour back to his feet. Tapau to Tagatese. No, it's Tafua, Mark Tafua. Elisala. Tuamavave. He's Pettyborn. Stopped by Fonua initially, the last, and it's Tuamavave. Off the outside of his boot. Straight down for Glen Fisi'ahi.
Well, that was great pressure from the Tongans. That forced the poor kick then from Tuamavave. Elisala
Move now.
From the Cowboys, the one putting the pressure on Tuamavave there. Oldfield hits solidly there.
He coming to hold.
Wittgenstein underneath.
Moimoi straight into Elisala. He has plenty of assistance. Mark Tafua still holding on. And Moa to Foster. Taumalolo fending, offloading, and the ball to ground. Unable to take it for Tonga. Ben Murdoch-Masila.
Murdoch-Masila just putting that ball from Anthony Tupou down. The footwork, which Tupou was so renowned for, getting him into between Samoan defenders. It's one that Murdoch-Masila, well, he will have thought that he should have been able to pull that one in. Good lead up there. Good lead up work
boys,
from
Tupou.
Anthony Tupou, another to be making his test debut for Tonga. Played 11 tests for Australia. Anthony Tupou. Tuamavave to Winterstein. Cross halfway Samoa. Nice offload to Fuifui Law. He runs out of room and heads back in field. Pettyborn.
Fuifui, all the way.
Moa and Murdoch-Masila off in defence. Elisala to Tuamavave. Second man play for Roberts. Now Junior Sal. Gets the ball away. Vito back in field to Matthew Wright, but there's been a player taken out.
It was Carlos Tuamavave, and it was a shoulder charge as he drifted across the field. I'm pretty sure it was Fuifui. Tuamavave, the set play that they had. Well, he's on the ground already, but here we go here. Fuifui. Just as he let go of the ball. Matt checking.
I wouldn't like to cop a shoulder charge from that frame either.
No, he's,
Time out.
Well, he's got a problem here, Tuamavave, and checking initiated. Well, pointed to the shoulder.
The penalty count just seems to be going against us the second half. What's your question, mate? Oh, why?
Mate, I'm penalising what's in front of me.
We're trying to stay clean.
I don't keep the penalty count. I penalise what's in front of me, okay?
Well, Sam Moa, I don't know how many sides he's been captain of, but that was the nicest approach to the referee I've ever heard. It was full of manners, wasn't it?
The penalty count seems to be going against us, sir. What's your question? Here's Asatasi.
Clear him now!
Elisala. Tuamavave. Showing it, running. Carlos is dragged down a metre short.
Milking.
Elisala. Now it's with Roberts, who straightens and takes a tackle. Seliweni, the man to bring him down. This is Tupou. Cartwheeled into the turf by Taumalolo. Tuamavave, the last, a chip for the outside man. Instead, it's gone straight to Michael Oldfield, who has plenty of room and pace to burn as well, but he slips into Matthew Wright across in cover. Fonua. Stopped abruptly by Lima and Tupou. Moimoi. Inside the 30. Foster giving it to Tupou, who threw it up into the air. It was down in Samoan hands. Daniel Vito to play it 15 shy of halfway.
Well, they just waited too long to pass the ball, Tonga. 2 hit-ups for Fonua and Fuifui. The ball needed to be shifted after that break from Oldfield.
Clearing 3.
Tuamavale rolling it off the hand for Pettybourne to straighten into Taumalolo and Langi. Lima giving it this time to Tapau.
5th and last. Oh, boys.
Samoa at the last. They go to the short side. Roberts grubbers straight into Tonga. They're allowed to play on. Likiliki comes away with it.
Well, the kicking game from Samoa has been, well, not the best in this second half. The chip to the other side of the field earlier saw Oldfield scoot through. Langi brushing away from Samoan defenders, still putting the footwork on.
What a run, Samsoni Langi. He beat 25 of them. Now Taumalolo. And he just continues to chew off the metres. Slow and steady progress upfield. Tonga, Langi gives it. The offload. Here's a chance for Oldfield. He got down low and took a tackle from Matthew Wright. Kite from acting half to Siuatonga.
5th and last.
Tackled by Lima, or Armau and Tapau. Foster chipping, trying to isolate Vito, who's up and marking safely in goal.
He did well. Gee, that was desperate defence. It was Jeff Lima, an ankle tap on Michael Oldfield that put him to ground there with Matthew Wright over the top.
Move now.
The supporters here tonight don't need much excuse to get excited. Half a break. They're out of their chairs, jumping on their seats. They are loving it in Penrith. Releasing Armau to play it just into Tongan territory. Junior Sau.
Contact there from halfback again.
Daniel Foster, he loves it.
Shoulder charge and strip, take your pick. Doesn't matter, mate.
I don't think the shoulder charge is quite right.
No, both players had their arms out, so no wonder they looked a little confused. Maybe the tackle slipped up a bit high from Foster.
You can make shoulder contact so long as your arms are attempting the tackle,
yeah, that wasn't
in the tackle.
Yeah, let's not confuse anyone at home. Neither of those was a shoulder charge.
Elisala to Tapau. Tuamavale, he's been a good conductor tonight. This is Winterstein. Pettybourne. Still going, Eddie. A few of the Samoan numbers are starting to give up the ghost, but the players aren't, as Tuamavale goes long. Roberts, another long ball. Junior Sau at an angle, pushed towards the sideline, and the ball was released just in time for a chip and chase that didn't work. It went straight to Fuifui Moimoi.
Who else would you rather catch the ball? Fuifui reaching up above his heads to pull it in and gets a penalty. Great stuff, Fui.
Jeff Lima with arguably the first chip in his rugby league career.
Well, we have got an abundance of front rowers in the game. We've got one chipping and one catching. That's terrific, isn't it? That is good. Fuifui brushing away from some tackles. Look at the possession rate at the moment, 7 from 7. Samoa, really, it has been about the counter-attack from Tonga in this second half, from this end of the field, off the back of poor kicking from Samoa. Now, Jeff Lima chip kicks there, but the kicks from Tuamavale and Ben Roberts in this second half have been poor and have seen Tonga go the other end of the field.
Oh, boys, wait, get on.
Moa bounces away from Asatasi and takes a few more metres. Dragged down by Armau and Elisala. Now Manu. Langi wanted the player to run inside, didn't get one, and as a result he takes a tackle from Tarsi and Elisala. Manu on the charge. Well tackled by Martin Tapau. The last for Tonga, 20 metres out. It's with Foster. Now Fisi'ahi, he took a tackle, the ball came free, it went forward, and changeover is the ruling.
Well, Samoa up in their face there and really forced Daniel Foster to pass the ball, but the defence wasn't any poorer the wider the pass went. They were up in Fisi'ahi's face as well.
Lima plays it. It's Lamatasi. Sydney Rooster, who emerged as part of a fantastic under-20s team at Manly. 5 Roosters on the field. Most of any club. Tuamavave kicking straight down the middle. And now Fisi'ahi. He enjoys running at a broken field, but the defensive line was pretty good. Uaisele.
Move off the ball.
Mahe Fonua. Getting a penalty from Matchikin.
Well, the Tongan captains, Sam Moa, would be happy about that one.
You kick him over your toe.
14-4, they're not talking about a kick for goal, are they? You know, they're just deciding what they're going to do once they find touch. No, hang on. The trainers run out with...
Fair to say a state of confusion reigns over Tonga at the moment.
Well, the trainer ran out with two fingers up, wanting 2 points. So Charlie Tonga, the coach, wanted them to kick for goal. They've ignored it, and they're playing on through Manu.
I reckon that message would be understandable in any language. They're on the attack, and they may well finish with 6 points at the end of this. Fioso trying to twist his way free, a good offload to Seluini. And he's tackled by Lisan Armau. Langi points right, and that's the way he goes to Foster. Now Fisi'ahi. This is Likiliki. He has 2 already. Back at the angle and scoring. Uaisele. Back at Penrith, but in Tongan colours, and he's mobbed.
Well, the decision to take the tap was the right one. The coach, Charles Tonga, wanted to take the 2. The players didn't. Foster a nice second-man play. Fisi'ahi and Likiliki's had a very strong game. Well read there by Uaisele. Cut back on the angle very late. He had Vito absolutely beaten all hands up. He wasn't sure which way he was going. Uaisele turned back on the inside. 18-4, kick to come. We're at the 60-minute mark.
Played 30 NRL games, Etu Uaisele. Scored 8 tries during that NRL career. All 8 of his tests have been for Tonga, and that's his 5th try. Just under 20 minutes to play. It's an imposing challenge now for Samoa in terms of a comeback. And this kick from Samsoni Langi might make it a little bit harder. It's not the biggest crowd this stadium has ever seen, but gee, there's an atmosphere. Langi with 1 from 3 this evening. This one's straight. 2 from 4, 20-4 in favour of Tonga as we go sideline to Mark Gasnier.
Yeah, beautiful set piece there from the Tongan side. As we said earlier, they've really targeted the Samoan left edge with the indecision of Junior South. Look, I think they're going to really want to keep it simple. A lot of talk down here at ground level, just a dummy half run, kick long, put the pressure back on Samoa.
Tonga hasn't beaten Samoa since 2006, the last 2 meetings. They've gone to the Samoans. And this is their first meeting since 2010. Let's hope they meet much more often. The representative possibilities for countries like Samoa and Tonga increase. So important as Tonga get a penalty.
Yeah, quick play the balls, forcing the issue there. Richie Fa'aso was fighting to get up. Put the ball on the ground, that's a dangerous thing to do. It could have gone the other way too. But this needs to become an annual event. There's no doubt about it. Rep weekend, if we've got a rep weekend, well, we should have more games like this. And you can even bring Papua New Guinea and Fiji into it. And really make it a special weekend.
Especially when you consider that 30% of NRL players at the moment are Polynesian. It's up near 40% in the under-20s ranks. It's only going one way. They need to have every avenue to represent their country. As Siuatonga scoots out of acting half and is held by his coattails by Lamatasi. It was only his desperate grip stopping Siuatonga from scooting away as Moa stands and he's bumped the ground eventually by Tarsi again. Langi out the back, quick hands, Fisi'ahi, dummy, and over they go, Mahe Fonua. It's a Tongan party at Penrith now, Brandy.
No, it certainly is. The wingers had to Uaisele scoring only moments earlier. This time, the Melbourne Storms, Mahe Fonua, nice ball there from Fisi'ahi. Had to get rid of it very quickly. Fonua throws the dummy. The Samoan defenders all go towards the corner. He cuts back and crosses for what will be a try that makes it very difficult for Samoa to come back from now.
What a period he's having in his rugby league career. He's played 10 NRL games for Melbourne and has won the lot of them. Unbeaten.
And he is an outstanding player. He is a very good winger. Such a powerhouse. We've got some good finishes down there at the Melbourne Storm.
The Melbourne Storm's first Victorian player. Born and bred through the ranks, but with a proud Tongan heritage. He's on show tonight. Can you imagine what's happening in Nuku'alofa right now, the capital of Tonga? Oh. Watching our broadcast, Brandy.
It's party time.
Langi to drive the margin out by more than 20 points. He kicked his last one, make it 2 in a row. And have a look at the way the Tongans celebrated that Mahe Fonua try. Not completely legal, but we'll run with it. The flag across the middle of the field, and this is Tongan territory. Penrith no more.
That's good, isn't it? Security.
Our best wishes to the E group. You're having a great night, boys.
They're a bit slow off the mark, weren't they?
Maybe they're just good blokes and realised
they're no harm.
Surrender! Surrender!
also dummies and runs. It's Lisanau along with Pettybourne stopping his progress. Langi kicks right on top of halfway, and it is pinpoint. What a night the Tongan halves are having.
And how good will it be for their development? Daniel Foster, as we've said a number of times, he's played 6 Holden Cup games coming into his first international. Langi, we know the promise that they hold for him down at the Roosters, whether it's at 5'8" or in the back row. It won't be long before we see him in playing NRL. The crowd, a touch over 10, that's pretty good. It's a chilly night here in Penrith. We had a stack of rain leading into the match.
It was a howling southerly that's only just started to die off now. An uninviting night to leave your lounge room, but still more than 10,000 have turned up to watch an effort like this from Tonga as they drive Samoa backwards. Tagatese now has his turn in reverse. It has been a tough night for the men in blue and white. Tarsa loses his legs as the tackle comes from Tupou, finished off by Faoso. Roberts kicks from way inside his 40s, slipping Fisi'ahi.
He's had a lot of trouble with his feet tonight, Fisi'ahi. I know he runs fast, doesn't help him on a ground that's a little bit dewy.
Fonua. Built to play rugby league. Siuatonga to Kite. Taumalolo. He wants to get in on the try-scoring celebrations tonight. Sikamanu. Held by Pettybourne long enough for Alisala to help out, but he proves stubborn. Sikamanu. Siuatonga runs and kicks, turning Fuifui around, and Matthew Wright is content to escort it over the sideline.
He's been a handful for the Samoan defence, Siuatonga, off the back of some good go forward from the Tongan forwards. His darts out of dummy half have really had the Samoans on the back foot. Fuifui. Oh, it's great to see him get back into the game. He's ready for action again.
I wonder what the Scottish Rugby League team will make of this performance from Tonga, or Mate Ma Tonga, because that's who they play first up to start their World Cup campaign. Tonga v Scotland at Workington, October 29. And from there, Tonga go on to play Italy and the Cook Islands. Look at this, they're still going late in this game. Junior Sau driven back. Now Vito cops the same treatment. Fuifui Law get them out of trouble. He went sideways and took a tackle from Uaisele. Armau. Still to get beyond their 20. Elisala's had enough and drives it upfield away from Fisi'ahi, who gets it now. Fonua was there in support. Langi to Fonua, who bounces away from an attempted shoulder charge in the eyes of Matt Chikin.
Masadi Yosefra it was, the Samoan number 9. Former Panther, West Tiger now.
I said an attempted shoulder charge. I'd like to remove the word attempted.
The decision from Matt Chikin. Got one wrong earlier, but that was his best attempted shoulder charge. Fuifui.
Finishing the game like he started it. Tackled by Yosefa and Tafua. The referee just overseeing everything at the moment. Siuatonga! Stopped just short.
Wait.
Fioso from acting half to Langi, who loses it behind him and dives on the ball to clean up. Still 2 plays left as Tafua climbs off. Siuatonga to Foster. Can he score a try on his 20th birthday? It's done with 10 minutes to play. The kick from Langi, taken by Winterstein, sent on by Sikamanu, and Tonga will get the ball back.
A nice kick there from Langi. Not that they've had to kick the ball much in this second 40 minutes, but Samoa's poor kicking has let them down. They had opportunities in the opening 20 minutes of this second half to really put some pressure on Tonga and try and come up with a try to reduce the deficit, but they failed in that department.
Here comes Fuifui again. Oh, straight into a shot from Pettybourne. He's issuing the challenge, Moimoi. Copping some treatment and loving it.
Yeah, that one slowed him down a touch. That was a good shot from Pettybourne.
Taumalolo. Still going, Jason Taumalolo. Havili through Foster, now Kite. Former Clive Churchill medalist. Havili to Langi, who straightens Samsoni. Langi gets a double. The man Trent Robinson may need to call on during Origin is issuing a great audition.
Well, his footwork close to the line got him the first try of the match. And there's hit number 15 for Fuifui, and then the footwork. Completely bamboozled. I think it was Pettybourne, it was Yosefa on the inside. He stepped off the right and then bang off the left again. He is a dangerous proposition that close to the line.
And Brandy, we've got another flag. It's just been removed. In fact, they're growing like blades of grass, the Tongan flags.
Come on, boys.
We'll stick with Sam Langi. He's looking around with bewilderment.
I'd like to see that try again from Langi. That footwork there. Yeah, it was special from Langi.
I don't know where that bloke came from, but I know where he might end up if he's not careful.
He thinks he's the Hayne plane, flying around Penrith Park, Centrebet Stadium.
Please remove yourself from the playing field right now.
Yeah, come on.
It was fun for a while. It's starting to get a little bit loose at the moment. While we clear the field of...
Yeah, here's the try from Langi. Watch the footwork. Bang off the left, then the right. He did leave Masadi Yosefa grasping at air. And there's the flag bearer. Oh. Right, yeah, we've gone a bit mad here at Centrebet Stadium.
Well, can you imagine what's happening in Nuku'alofa?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Might be a bit quieter in Apia.
He just, the one that just ran into the pads there had 6 mates too, doing the same thing all over.
Luckily for the E Group security, just over 5 to play at Penrith. As Langi adds the extras, 32-4. What a scoreline for Tonga. bouncing around, barking instructions to his teammates, young Samsoni Langi. What a night it's been for he and Daniel Foster and their Tongan teammates like Richie Fioso, who has an offload and hands possession back to Ben Roberts. This might slow the Tongan party somewhat. Tafua set on by Moimoi.
Gee, he's been good. Fuifui, he has been fantastic. The crowd have loved him and his effort tonight.
This is Tarsi. Taken to ground by Kite. And Fioso. Elisala. Pettyborn. He straightens. But it's the offload for Elisala. Again, the ball to ground picked up by Roberts. There it breaks down from a tackle from Murdoch-Masila.
Clear him now, hands off.
Leeson Armour long behind Sam Tagatese, who straightens now. For the sake of those watching in Samoa, Sam Tangataeshi. The kick from Roberts into the end goal. Fisi'ahi there cleans up and takes the ball, touch in goal.
And they get their first repeat set through a forced dropout. Roberts just dribbling it through the defensive line. Fisi'ahi not able to get it back out in the field of play, but it's about 30 minutes too late for Samoa. They needed that at the opening 10 or 15 minutes when they really did dominate possession and where the game was being played. They just couldn't build any pressure. Their kicking game was really ineffective.
Samoa are going to play a game in Hawaii in June as a continuation of their World Cup build-up. They open their campaign against New Zealand. Leeson Armour. The consolation points coming for Samoa. Mark Tafua. Lamatasi into a big hole and bouncing over the try line with a double movement.
Well, Matt Chekin saying that momentum wasn't going to carry him in there. The fact that the arm carrying the footy hit the ground. Tarsi through the hole there. It was a second effort. It was a second effort. I don't know if he would have, if momentum was going to carry him much further at all. Chekin's been pretty good on his own. And the Tongan bench was standing arm in arm. There's been some stars there. Sam Moa, Taumalolo, Anthony Tupou. They've all played their part in this victory. A big one by the Tongans.
Well done to Charles Tonga, their coach, Christian Wolf, his assistant. It's going to be a win to remember for Tonga, who last beat Samoa in 2006. Langi out of acting half and giving it to Manu. Sikamanu with plenty of numbers outside. Mahe, Fonua goes in again.
Well, some great footy there by the Tongans. They just defended their own line. Lamatasi penalised for a double movement. Nice hole run there and a great ball from Langi. He scored to himself, Langi. Huge role in that one. The footwork from Manu to get on the outside of the Samoan defender. The scenes here, well, that's it. They've blown full time. Fonua scored his second try. We're off early.
The trickle becomes a flood. There is time on the clock, but Matt Chikin has said, enough's enough. Well, that is it. 36-4 in favour of Tonga. The crowd, maybe fittingly, has had the final say, but not rightfully.
No, disappointing to see this happen and not allow the game to get to full time. I know we didn't have much time left, but as you said, Matt, it was a trickle. The try before by Langi. This time they haven't been able to help themselves. 5 tries in the second half.
Get off the Centrebet Stadium now, so your teams can finish their test match.
7 tries to 1 at the moment. Our understanding is it is full time.
Well, the ground announcer's saying to let your team finish, but the referee's already blown full time. That's it. We won't be coming back for the final 40 seconds. And this is how proceedings started. It was a Likiliki try. And Fonua, what a part he played in it. He scored 2 in the second half. He set up this one. The pass to Siuatonga off the back of the tackle here. A quick play the ball. Fisi'ahi goes to the right. And Foster throws a great cut-out pass to Likiliki, who scored a try in the first half, and that was his second. Uaisele was the next try scorer. Nice little second-man play there. And Uaisele cuts back on the inside. Likiliki again involved. Had a very good game. This one, Fonua. Langi out the back. Fisi'ahi, a great quick ball to Fonua through a dummy, and the Samoan defence all went towards the corner. We saw plenty of celebrations from the Tongans. Langi scored his own second try after scoring the opening try of the match with some terrific footwork, and then nice ball playing there by that man, the number 6, to Manu, who offloaded to Fonua, and he scores try number 2. It was a dominant performance by the Tongans in the second half. 5 tries after the score line, 10-4 at half-time. Samoa certainly in it, but just couldn't take advantage of their ball, their possession and field position in that opening 15 minutes of the second half.
They're enjoying it at the moment, Tonga. Last time they played Samoa, they went down 22-6. Before that, they were defeated 20-12, but tonight, a big win, 36-4, as the fans get in on the party. Don't forget, midweek, a great show as part of the Fox Sports Rugby League family. NRL 360, Ben Eichen and Paul Kent. This week, it's Players' Night. Willie Mason and Braithen Astor. You'll see it from 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. NRL 360. They'll talk about Rep Round. They'll talk about a great win for Tonga, a Tonga that is being celebrated right now at Penrith. On behalf of the entire Fox Sports team, it's been a great night. I'm Matt Russell. Thanks for your company. Until next time, good night.
This has been a production of Fox Sports in partnership with the National Rugby League.